Hello, this is the British Esports Student Champs Nationals for League of Legends, produced by the College of Esports. I'm your host, Brectimus, and with me is the knowledgeable top lane king, Freddie.
I love my Cassante.
Hello. Yes, I love Cassante and on myself. So there's going to be a little bit of bias on the host desk towards top lane, but that's fine. We're going to talk about all the other lanes as well. We're going to be bringing you two fantastic games of League of Legends. The first match will be Burnley Esports Elites versus the Cardiff and Vale College Celts. Bit of a tongue twister there. We're going to call it Elites versus Celts. There they are. Look at the logos. It's beautiful. Now, what we're going to do is going to go lane by lane. All right?
Right.
In top lane for Burnley, we're going to have Corey Bori. Love that name. Versus perhaps Mahitios. Oh, and that's the game 2 for later. Look out for that. Stay tuned. Colonel Cyphers versus Banbury Barbarians. Game 2, though. We're going to talk about game 1.
Yeah.
They're getting ahead in prod. Look at that. Get excited. Look around for that. Don't go anywhere after game 1 finishes. There's more to come. So, talk about there it is. This is game 1. Elites versus Celts. Right. Burnley, let's do a rundown. Burnley has Corey Bori, Amami Ni in the jungle, Sakura Dynasty. You can't see that. There's Metro D, and there's Ultivanis in support. So we kind of know what the elites, they're people. We've checked out the op.ggs. We're going to talk about them in a moment. A bit of a mystery is the Celts. It's a classic on BA Student Champs. Is when you're trying to research for these teams, it's a little bit tricky sometimes because I'm not sure who's playing, first of all, and what lane they're playing. But we're going to assume it's Mahitios, Sputmukbutt. Love the name. Sake. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Get excited for Sake. They're going to be a menace. I'm Worse Than You, and then Snowfall. Right, that's the rundown. First of all, or second of all, Burnley have an exciting op.gg, don't they? In the top lane.
They had a very exciting op.gg. Certainly perked my ears up when I saw Cassante as their most played.
Don't forget.
Cassante,
Tell him in the camera. Look down that barrel and tell him what you saw on that op.gg.
Let's just say the Cassante is the most picked on their top laner. Cassante is quite high prior in the meta. He's good into everything. He's always good in the game. He's always scaling. It's what he's been like since release, and the rework recently certainly helped with that. Although we have seen some nerfs recently, so maybe they'll choose against it. Who knows?
It's a classic, you know. He's really good, and he's one of those tanks where if he gets ahead, starts building those tank items, he's just unkillable, and he can kill you. I love Cassante. This is why we love Cassante here on the desk. Maybe the casters will agree with us. We'll find out later. And then for Burnley as well, you checked out their jungle. Yeah. What are we seeing? So we're going to assume if they can get it, it's going to be Cassante. Next in jungle, what kind of things are we expecting? Maybe a tank.
They're gonna be looking at some sort of engage, right? Because Cassante is Cassante can't engage very well. He's a warden. He's meant to anti-engage, right? He's meant to be that counter to your first strike. They're looking at an Amumu or a Wukong pick in the jungle. Something that can flex to the damage type that they need, but also provide them with that utility that they'll need in the jungle. Crank for those easy early lane gangs.
Come over here, sorry, pal. Just come in a little closer. Don't peek off. Don't fall off the set, man. We need you on the desk. Don't trip. All right. So we got the damage split, right? We're going to assume it's going to be a Wukong if they need it, because in the mid lane, you might have seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot, certainly, not even just like the recent patches, but throughout the year, is a Ari and Aurora for Sakurai Dynasty has been playing a lot of it. And it's to be expected now, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to expect to see these double A's, you know?
Like, Aurora is just, she's an extremely safe laner. She provides so much utility with that ultimate whilst having so much mobility and dashes.
It's so aggravating.
You can't match it a lot of the time.
All right, I've got to say, speaking of dashes, Ambessa, unfortunately, not going to be able to be played. I thought we might see it, but I think it's just out of the window where it is still disabled. Unfortunate, we won't see that many dashes. I would have liked to seen that. Maybe we see Celts on red. They are on red side for this game. May see an R5 against the Cassante. That would have been fun, but not today. But not to fear. Not to fear. We're going to see some fun still, aren't we? Because all right, rounding out Burnley, we're going to see Cassante maybe. Perhaps a Wukong, perhaps a tank like a Mumu. We'll see. We'll see how the draft goes. We expect perhaps an Ari or Aurora if they get through on draft. And then this bot lane, we're going to see something pretty chop standard, you know?
Yeah.
Engage support. We love it. We love to see a Nautilus. Come on. Nautilus. Rel as well. I believe he even got hit this patch. Yeah. No, I saw it next patch. Never mind.
The rework.
I saw some rework coming soon, so Rel might drop in pro, but we might see Rel still because we're still on this patch.
Indeed.
We might see, Leona. It's a classic engage support. But what are they going to pair that up with Metro D on the bot laner?
They're looking to. So it seems that they're looking to pair it up with a Varus pick. Varus seems to be a very high pro pick this game. Both of the bot laners being playing it near their top played. Very good utility, very good scaling, always present, especially with that lethality build. You can always be in the game no matter what.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. I've been asked by Prod, do you know the results of these teams in the previous weeks? Have you got any info on that? We don't know. Sorry, put him on the spot. But that's fine. We'll move on to the Celts. Celts won? Ooh, Celts won against Exeter. Because we're only a few weeks in, aren't we? We still got some more games to go. It is Burnley Loughborough. It's still stage round 1, honestly. So we're round 3. Why haven't I been told round 1 on this website? I do apologise. I'm making mistakes. Anyway, Celts. All right, here's my thinking, right? You told me that Burnley are going to come in. They're on blue side. They might be one Casante. What is your counter pick? If you, obviously, someone's picked your Casante away from you, what do you counter pick that with?
There's a lot of picks that you can do into Casante, but there's no true counter. You'd think Fiora's good, but she just gets out damaged a lot of the time. So we might be like, a lot of the picks you might see are scalers, because Casante doesn't have that engage that he should have, even if he has that good early game. Maybe a Kale. Jax is quite good at escaping him with his W being locked now. So
the W's locked. You can leap strike away when you're on the Jax. You can counter strike some of that auto passive after the ability land. So maybe a Jax coming out from the Celts. We'll see. All right, I gave it a tease, little teaser on Sake. Right, I've skipped past the jungle. I do apologise because I'm not sure who it is. But Sake is the mid laner for the Celts. Tell me, Freddie, why is this guy or person, why are they a menace to be feared on the Celts?
Their OP.GG look very scary. They are playing... Their most played is Lucian, surprisingly, even though they look like to be the mid laner of their team. They might... We're thinking that they're looking at quite hyper carry picks like the Yone being his second most played, tied with the Lucian. So we're thinking he's going to be looking at that carry playstyle, trying to smash through the enemy team, not letting them
reach the... What did they peak around Masters as well?
They peaked Masters last split.
I'd be shaking, honestly. If I'm a Sakurai Dynasty scared, as I believe, here we go, the standings. Would you look at this? Where are they, people? Celts. Celts are 2 games played. They are 1-1. And we have up against Burnley. Burnley. 0-2. Okay. So we got 1-1 versus 0-2. Game 2 is... I've lost it. Is the Colonel Cyphers sitting at the top of the table against Banbury Barbarians. So we're seeing kind of opposite ends. So game 1 is kind of that middle of the pack, lower down, and then game 2 is higher up, top of the thing. So look forward to game 2. Come on, people. 2 games of League of Legends, and we get to see best of both worlds. I'm looking forward to this. So that's their results, people. The Celts are 1-1, and Burnley are 0-2 for this first game match. All right. So, Sake, welcome back to us. Hello. So Sake is master. We're looking to hyper carry mid, watch out. Perhaps even counter picks against the Aurora and the Ari, with something spicy. I'm not too sure. But you mentioned the Lucian. Now, obviously, Lucian is an ADC. Might see him ADC as well, mightn't we? Because that is kind of like a flex pick available for the Celts. We'll see if they utilize it.
Yeah, we both the ADC and the mid laner have been playing Lucian. We're looking at a likely ban there because it's on both their pages. It's a flex pick. You don't know where it's going if it's picked. So it's a likely ban, but his second highest played was the Varus pick, so there's a lot of Varus prio this game.
Even that, yeah. Varus is also, mixed in between them. Support as well, bit of an unknown, might pick anything, kind of enchanter, engage. We'll see. Renata might look good this game into the engage support.
Indeed.
A little bit of a in-joke there. Renata is always good into engage support. You watch out. So now, Freddie, it is looking like we're not loading into the lobby quite yet. We're trying to invite some people. We're taking our time. We've talked about the teams. We talked about what to see. Is there anything else you would like to mention during this little delay?
Well, the meta right now is we're in off season, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we're getting there, right? Is it officially off season? Is the split finished? No more ranked?
Well, split's not fully finished yet, but we're not seeing any more pro games happening.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
because Worlds has just finished, but through Worlds we are seeing very big prio on that Skarner pick. He's nearly pick ban in every high elo game. Very scary champion.
Yeah, it's kind of that. I can't remember. I watched a YouTube short, old Azap.
Yeah.
He said Skarner, Yone, and Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
In that short, do you know what the chances that were there? Was the Kaiser Skarna and Yon. So it's to be expected. It's kind of a standard now. We're kind of rushing through into the off season. It's kind of a bit of lull in meta where it's coming a bit stale. They're going to try and shake it up in the next few weeks, but unfortunately, we're still on this patch. We don't see Ambessa either, which is a huge shake-up, I feel. There's some spicy builds. I believe, hear me out, I might have cooked, but fleet footwork with Ambessa, with the Voltic sword, don't go it first, though. I tried it. I have no damage. I griefed. I entered. But that might be something, right? I might be onto something. I might be cooking.
I mean, I saw an Alois video earlier when you're talking about that voltaic sword rush. I mean, he was rushing it first every game into ranged champions, and it was doing perfectly fine for him.
Look.
He went from inting to immediately 1v9.
I'm not just the host. I might be an analyst. I've got a future career here. I might be able to. But, okay. We're not going to see Ambessa. What else can we talk about? There's watch out, buddy. Don't fall off the. Come here. Don't fall off the set, pal. Don't fall off. They're cutting you off. Okay, there is stale meta. We might see some ordinary picks. You know, Skarna's coming in. Do you want to talk about Arcane?
We can talk a bit about Arcane.
Because we're in a bit of a. We're waiting for him. I loved it, honestly.
You loved it?
I loved it. You know, the boys were interacting with that. It's not Hex Tech. It's something else.
No spoilers. Can't spoil anything.
Oh, I can't spoil.
No spoilers here.
It's fun.
Arcane is great. We saw a new game mode come to the client recently. Jinx fixes everything. A little game mode, you can get a singed skin if you complete all of it.
Okay. So you get a skin when you do the client thing. Is that what you're telling me? Oh well, do you know what? People, while this delay is happening, load up on your Riot client, log into League of Legends, do that little singed story thing, get yourself a skin. Don't forget it. I have heard, so all the sides of Burnley have used their Mythic Essence to buy Blue Essence to buy champions.
Oh.
Okay. Don't want skins, just want the blue. I've never done that. I've never traded my Mythic Essence for Blue Essence. Just specifically for today. Okay. I admire the commitment they've for the Student Champs Nationals that Burnley are setting. They're spending their Mythic Essence, which is incredibly rare to get, and spending it on in Blue Essence to get a champion. I love it. They are the elites. They're going to try and prove it on the Rift, obviously. We'll see about that. See if their name holds up with the Burnley elites. And we can't talk about Arcane because there's no spoilers. I'm getting a sneak peek that they're loading into the lobby. So we're going to, keep talking as this happens. I would not have done that move personally.
What, the Mythic Essence? I think it's quite spicy.
Yeah.
With that Blue Essence, what champions could they be buying?
What have they bought? How much does... What's
we
the
could have been
conversion
completely
rate?
Wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know the conversion.
I don't know the conversion rate between Mythic Essence and Blue Essence, but it's got to be up there, surely.
Definitely. It's not something easy to get. How much Mythic Essence do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
Not enough for the good skins. I know that much. I'm still saving up. I'm still waiting. I think it's like 115. I'm waiting. I want a good skin. That's my thought. I feel like there's got to be a good skin coming. But then again, I kind of play ARAMs. I'm a bit of an ARAM enjoyer, so I'm just random champs, random skins.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna get. I forget, honestly. I load into ARAM and I forget what skins I have for champions. And then afterwards, I check and I was like, damn, I should have played him. I've got a cool skin for that. Instead, I'm playing default Maokai. And would you look at this?
We're in the
It's London Legion versus SK Telecom. That is not who we're witnessing. It is the Celts versus Burnley Elites. Burnley Elites are on the blue side with the Celts on the red side. We'll see it. Expected. Burnley Elites immediately ban on that blue side. First ban is the Yone. Banning away from Sake, who is the master player on the side of Celts. Expected.
Zaya ban follow-up, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Which, perhaps they've seen something. As it might even be... hopefully they're in order there, because it's looking like Sake is up in the top lane as well. They're not in order. They're not in... Do not look. That is not the order.
We see
Don't believe it.
a Lucian ban from the blue side. We did expect that because they did flex it between two of their picks. A Nautilus ban from the Celts. Denying some of that engage, denying that point and click.
It's good. It's such. I feel like it's just so. It's much more reliable than something like a Thresh or a Blitzcrank when you're looking for that hook. Kind of has a big shield for themselves, has the peel, and the ultimate's just point and click. What more can you ask for from a support? Just point and click your ultimate, throw out the dredge line, see what you can find. As here we go, B1.
The Cassante pick.
Yes,
they did not ban it on the red
B1. Let's go. I'm excited.
What do they counter?
Come on. How did they counter this?
What do they decide to counter?
What do they do?
We also see a Silas ban this game. Thinking of a possible Aurora pick with that, not allowing him to steal the ult.
Interesting. Here we go. No. Oh. Is that what you're thinking? The Silas is counter for Aurora?
Yeah, for the ultimates, you can't just... you gotta look out, because... And Silas can carry quite well.
Silas can.
Seeing a Cassiopeia pick, that conflicts both mid and top.
Ooh. How is... Cassiopeia feels like could be good into Cassante.
It can
with
be
the,
good,
miasma, right?
It's all dependent on both players. You can definitely counterplay it.
Like you say, I feel like in League there's not a true hard counter anymore. It does also come down to players and how well they know the matchups. And in line, Vi coming in for Burnley elites. Oh, I feel like this is standard. Give us a Vi, give us a mid laner, has some good CC on that follow up. Thank you nicely. Charges the Q. EQ lands from, or QE lands from Syndra. Easy peasy, bish bash bosh. You might force the flash, you might got yourself a kill. It's that simple. Meanwhile, this is looking very nicely.
Next?
How does
Could it be a possible top?
Celts round out? If they do this, I feel like it could still be a flex, right? We're still seeing a flex, and there's a mixed damage still with the Zinjao obviously dealing AD damage, and then Akali and Cassiopeia dealing that AP. It's looking spicy on the side of the Celts. I respect it. I really do.
Varus ban coming out. Not as high pro as we thought it would be. So we see both ADCs and supports are still yet to pick. Kai'Sa ban from the elite.
It's they might just be picking for themselves, pal. Do you think?
Maybe.
Drafts out the window. They might just be picking for themselves. Not how some teams typically do the draft, but you know what? It's BA champs. You're not going to see the most perfect League of Legends, but you're going to see some fun regardless. You're going to see some action. You're going to see some bloodshed, as that is a misban. It happens. All right, Celts were snoozing. They don't know what other ADC to ban. And the Nico, look at that. Elites, Burnley elites are prepped, ready to go, pulling in. We see some bot lanes.
Coming in with the confidence.
Ooh. I personally, I don't like that misfortune, but it can still just be kind of a press art. I feel like you need to round it out. We need a tank on the side of Celts, in my opinion. This is, honestly, you look over the side of Burnley elites, this is the most standard... Wait, I'm pointing the wrong way. This is the most standard thing I've seen. Honestly, if you swap the supports, I would love it even more. Because what is the hardest counter into misfortune? Is our big Braum shield.
Indeed.
But obviously, there's not quite enough to do that.
They do lock in the Braum.
Okay. All right. Quick. Run it through. Who do you favour, first of all?
I think I favour the elite. I think I favour the elites because we're looking at...
No, these guys.
Yep.
Is it just the Cassante or is there more to it?
There's more to it. It's more that they have the lockdown, they have the pressure, they have those resets. You see the Syndra and the Jinx, they can get an easy reset. That Syndra, having
whoever's
the X
first target, boom, 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 get the reset.
We see the Vi and the Syndra, that's an easy reset for the Jinx. The Cassante, the Leona being able to peel for that Jinx. They can easily carry this. But if we look over to the South, it's a bit yikes.
Yeah, Celts, whatever, semantics. What are we thinking?
A very snowbally comp. They don't have the most engaged. They're very divey. They have to run in very much. They can't play. They don't have any neutral.
Somebody tell Snowfall take flash. Or is that not? Okay, did take flash. I was getting worried then. I was getting scared that it's just heal exhaust.
Seeing a cleanse from the Misfortune into the Leona.
Yeah. Honestly, fair enough. There's a lot of CC, like not even just the bot lane with the Leona, with the Jinx traps, but there's also the Syndra on top of that. But I feel like once you've got that, once you've been hit by that CC, I feel like
it's over.
You might just be dead anyway, and you've cleansed just to walk like an inch on your screen, maybe. You know?
The Misfortune only has so much mobility. You can't.
Yeah, she's so immobile.
If that Syndra lands the Kiwi, you're looking at a Misfortune, a ViQ, a Vile. Xante may be flashing on you if he's feeling deadly. You don't know.
I would have loved. I feel like that Kai'Sa ban is such a good ban, in my opinion. I feel like a Kai'Sa instead of the Misfortune would have done kind of better, maybe to help with the dive, because it feels like they want to rush in. But Misfortune on top of that dive, if they're in a good position to do that. But I feel like they can be in quite a compromised position. So it's really important on where that Misfortune is standing to layer that all on top. I feel like it's going to be a rough game for them. It really is.
With that Kai'Sa ban, they're also denying the ADC with mobility. They can't.
Exactly.
They're forcing them into this immobile ADC. It's hard.
It's rough. And then the Braum on top of it to round out their comp is a little bit interesting. Have you got any final points before we throw to our beautiful casters?
I think this game will be, it will certainly be something. Celts can still win if they snowball this.
Okay, that's what we're looking for on the host desk. Celts are looking to snowball. Burnley Elites are looking to perhaps play a bit of chop standard, you know, look for the first target. Best, 5v5 team fights. And with that, we'll see what the casters think, whether they agree to it. Look at them. There they are. We got Nano Juice and Skill on the cast tonight. Throw it to them.
And thank you once again, Freddie and Michael. We have a banger ahead of us. I can see it already. I'm one caster, Louis Skilton, joining you today.
And I'm Alex, also known as Nano Juice.
And yeah, once again, this is a really interesting draft we're seeing from both teams. The Burnley Bees, I think, has the biggest sting here when we're looking at, you know, the composition. But the Celts, I mean, they've got some wildcard players, I've got to say. I mean, first, Psych, if you'd like to talk about that.
Yeah, Psych seems to be a diamond top laner for the side of, what was it, Burnley Bees? They have...
Celts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They have... is kind of like a Cassante player. He plays a lot of those like top lane, in-your-face kind of characters that, you know, a lot of top laners seem to enjoy. Cassante is very much prevalent in most of the meta for the past 2-3 years. So, you know, I'm excited to see how much damage that man can do this game.
Yeah, I know Freddie for sure is very excited to see this game. Any Cassante game is a good game for him. So,
oh, yeah.
With that on top, I'm very curious about this support ADC matchup, right? Because preferably I wouldn't have matched the Braum with the with the Misfortune, but you know, I think there's definitely something that they have got going on in this draft. They definitely want the peel, especially for this Cassiopeia, but I would just say that the Bees have a much more well-rounded comp. They're a lot more adaptable. They don't need to be on the objectives first.
Yeah.
So as we go into this Rift, I'm really curious who's going to be able to get their foot into the door as we go into Summoner's Rift for the first time this week, week 3, 4 student champs, British Esports, Nationals, League of Legends.
Here we are.
And we're on.
The fun start. So I'm expecting to see a top 1v1 here, Cassiopeia versus Cassante. It's completely dependent on whether the Cassiopeia can, you know, kite correctly and, you know, get away from the amount of CC and the amount of lockdown that Cassante has.
Yeah.
So when it comes to bot lane, Leona and Jinx versus MF Braum. It's going to be a tough one for MF Braum. Leona can go straight past the Braum with the Leona E and go straight onto the MF. It's going to be tough for the Braum to be able to actually peel correctly for the MF and lane. But it's depending on the shield's usage versus with the Jinx, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, again, this Misfortune, I think, has really good intentions, but it's all about being able to secure a decent ult on MF. And when you have the Syndra, the Leona, and the Vi all willing to just get in your face, it doesn't matter if you've got a cleanse, because if your ult gets disrupted, that's most of your damage just instantly going away in team fights.
This MF needs to really be careful of a Vi ult or a Syndra E or the Leona ult or even Cassante just existing in front of the MF ult. It's a pretty rough ride for the MF this game. Yep. Mid does look pretty interesting as well. Syndra Akali is completely dependent on whether Akali hits her Shuriken, whether E, or the Syndra push being able to time that correctly in these counterplays. It's a very fun like chess matchup.
Definitely, and while Syndra does have the early advantage, they need to make sure they secure it, because not having any minion shove later on into that, let's say, 4-minute mark when the objectives start to spawn, gives Akali free range to absolutely dominate these skirmishes. So it's really up to the elite guards of the Burnley Bees to kind of hold in what is going on to Koribori. That is first blood straight away to the Diamond Psych of CAVC Celts.
That level up timer on the minion when the Conqueror stack in the background with the amount of minion push that we saw in the early lane led to that being a very easy first blood for this Cassiopeia. Insta went tier first, so there's so much scaling there, and like at the cost of pretty much nothing with that free kill, this Cassiopeia is already looking pretty scary.
Yeah, I can already feel the facepalm from Freddy from the host desk right now. As whilst there is a first blood for this Cassiopeia, Psych, I think we do have to understand is essentially the wild card of Cardiff and so's Celts. So with this being said, having a first blood so early is crucial here for them.
Yeah, no, a lot of this front-loaded damage is going to be coming from this Cassiopeia in those team fights, so her being ahead is just crazy. Although bot lane seems to be going pretty equal. Mana on the MFs, it seems kind of low. Other than that, HP seems down for Burnley, but there isn't a whole lot of action.
Oh, you say that, but there's some really good positioning here coming from Psych and Sput as they look to take the top scuttle. Don't follow it up with anything, as Armani is going to forfeit it. But that's, again, we're getting tempo from the Celts. The Royal Guard of the Burnley Bees are looking to show a little bit of a crack early on into this game. I'm not sure if it's going to snowball just yet, though.
Something interesting to note is that the Xin Zhao skipped on his top Krugs, went straight to River level 3 to grab that crab and to deny it from the Vi, since she was also topside. What he's going to go do now is finish off those Krugs while the Vi ends up bot lane, takes the bot scuttle, and both junglers are equal. Although you do see some vision down in the topside jungle on the side of Celts, so it's just nice to, have some more information there.
And this is such a golden opportunity for the Bees to attack. Here we see Armani gets the knock up onto Snowfall. There's the root down as well. Braum is in danger and falls to Metro D. The first kill in the bot lane for this Jinx. Yeah, and it's going to get exciting.
That's incredibly huge for Burnley, having that Jinx be strong. The flash forward straight away was a little inspirational, but I suppose it worked out. The Vi coming through in the off angle, taking away that Braum. I assume that the Braum used the shield earlier in the lane before the gank, so he didn't have it for when they got locked down by Leona. Huge pickup there.
Yeah, I keep coming back to Freddy. He said earlier before the broadcast started, Cassante has no losing lanes. Well, how do you explain this right now? As Psych is dominating this range top lane matchup, getting a nice CS lead, and there's nothing, even with a gank, nothing Koribori can do. Psych is looking to proxy. Wait, he's looking for a dive! And there's the second. Ignores the turret damage as well. That is so crucial for leading this Snake to the top boards.
Yeah, Psyche just showing his prowess there. Going into a diamond top lane as Cassante, it's about weathering it, and so far it's looking a little rough. This Cassiopeia now has the Faded Ashes, which just makes the lane ever so more impossible to deal with. And
yeah, once again, this tempo, the momentum from the Celts right now is scary, but what I am starting to observe is that the Celts aren't capitalizing on these kills because they're all isolated. Yeah. Look how the Burnley Bees are starting to swarm the grubs here. Going to be really crucial for getting that split push on the Cassante, on the Jinx. And the Celts, whilst they're getting all these kills, they're not going to follow up with much.
these kills are just inflation of gold. They don't result in any towers or plates being taken, any objectives being done. We see the grubs being finished here by, was it Armani? You know, getting those grubs is really good for the Syndra, especially in the mid game, where she can just split push, farm, take those, you know, tier 1s, tier 2s. It's going to be rough. It's going to be completely dependent on the... Oh,
wait, hang on. Corey, this is the first time we've seen a really successful trade happen on the top lane. And it looks like Ultravani is here to follow up as well, but doesn't quite find it. Quite sensible considering the massive minion wave that Corey has to catch up with. And now that they've realized Ultravani is exposed in the top lane, what does that mean for the bot lane of the Celts? Are they going to capitalize on this in this prime opportunity? Meanwhile, Corey is unleashed. Cassante, he's going for the first kill, and he gets the shutdown. That is such a huge turnaround for him.
Cassante being full build after one Negatron cloak.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. If that's all it takes, this is looking really scary for Psyche.
Psyche obviously burned his flash on the last tower dive when he killed him the second time. So Cassante just being able to walk up freely, it's having that flash for the range top matchup is so imperative to being able to actually play the lane. So losing that, Cassante just walks up and just takes an easy trade. Psyche can't really do much without it.
Yeah, and Sakura is really starting to get some nice trades down onto the Celts mid laner.
Sakura has been doing really well in this lane. It is kind of rough for Syndra. Oh, wait, do we see a kill here?
We do! A nice burst there from Sakura using the ult.
Really well played by Sakura there. Stacking up the orbs before the ult, so the ult has multiple orbs to do extra damage. And also the E securing the stun, so it's a nice, easy lineup of Q, then the E, W, R, and just completely shredded.
Yeah, the reset there for the mid laner of Celts is going to be really difficult, actually, as we are starting to look at the next objective spawning. They're going to lose quite a bit of tempo on this. Corey, however, is not struggling at all anymore, it seems, even gaining the CS advantage. That being said, this range top lane is always a... it's not the nicest of matchups, is it?
No. Especially Cassiopeia. I feel like most range tops like Akshan or Vayne, you have some kind of way to play around it, while, you know, the grounded from Cassiopeia is just so OP into most top laners, especially with Cassante. It's a decent trade, yeah. Just like, as soon as you go for one thing, try to walk away, she, like, the extra move speed she gets from, and then gets her Q, and then the applied extra damage with her E, it's just tough to play into Cassiopeia when you're this kind of hyper-mobile champion. The grounded just sucks to deal with.
We could be looking for a dive from the Celts, but instead it's going to be the unstoppable Corey going for his second and evening up the top lane scoreboard.
We did call it, like, top lane is going to be, like, the place to watch for this match. Both top laners are the highest ranked players, and they're looking like the most, you know, volatile lane that we have so far. The Cassante... the problem that happened there with that fight is that Psyche used his... I'm not sure what it's called, but the Cassiopeia ult while in the Cassante W, so he got no value from it. And obviously the reduced damage on top of losing the stun because he's unstoppable.
And that's going to kind of put pressure on the Celts once again. This key carry that we've identified for the Celts being Psyche, an absolutely remarkable player, and had shown to kind of push this Celts side through the previous weeks. But once you're... you know, star player is 2-2. Despite having a really good start, that is going to mean the rest of the team needs to pick up the pace. That being said, Corey looking like they're in an uncomfortable position as Armani is going to use it as an opportunity to try and find something. Doesn't. Instead, we're looking at this Grubs take once again. If the Celts aren't able to stop Burnley elites taking 6 Grubs, that is going to put them in a horrible position. That being said, Corey is starting to look very dire. The flash goes through and Corey falls. Psyche is now ready to rotate for this fight. That being said, they are too low and looking to push the wave instead. But this is really good from the Celts. They've diffused the situation. They're not able to take any more grubs. They have taken 5, though, which is going to put them with 1 little grub every time they attack a tower.
You know, that the Void Mites, when you're fighting the towers, the key part of the grubs that you're looking for. You know, +3 grubs is fine, but as soon as you break that 4 barrier, that's the key difference that makes them kind of OP in the current meta. That top lane 1v1, I want to mention that Sidekick is very good at keeping his Conqueror stacked up all the time. You know, making sure that hovers around 8 to 10 before fully engaged. So having all that AP, the extra healing when it's fully procced, it's a lot of damage that people just kind of miss out when they don't keep that Keystone fully stacked.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Once again, this ranged matchup in the top lane is proven to be a back and forth, very volatile duel. And both, the thing about Koribori right now is even if he doesn't succeed in this lane as well as Syke, he's not doing bad enough that he will not be relevant. Anytime a tank is on the map, they will always have impact, unless you're playing against Vayne, a 15-4 Vayne. But there is none to see on the Rift today. So Koribori will scale quite well as Syke actually, just because of the pure damage output that we're going to see from this star player.
Of course, like, I feel like giving gold to the... Oh, wait.
Oh, we see actually gets the ultimate off for Syke, but that does not matter because now Koribori is looking to fully engage here. We're seeing the fist fight of the top lane once again. Syke is able to kite and finds the 4th kill. That was insane kiting, insane dodging from the Snake.
That was ridiculous. The played that really well, dodging so many of the Kasante Qs, you know, being able to not get hit by that mark. It was like, that was really well played by Syke, and Corey so close. Hitting some of those Qs would have made the difference with the mark, the extra damage, with the healing from from the all out. It's that was really close.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the fact that essentially Koribori just got their ankles broken in that fight. A nice double ult, gets the cleanse off though, but still Armani is looking to dash in. Loltree is ignited, but not completely down for the count just yet, as instead Spot is going to look to come around, potentially find the counter gank here, but everyone has disengaged off. That is so many summoners used for both sides in the bot lane.
On the side of Celts, that you've lost the cleanse, the flash, and also the brown flash.
Wait, we're seeing another fight here. Currently, Akali is in a dire situation, but managing to make the most of it as Armani is about to fall. But the save from Sakura Dynasty keeps the bee alive.
That Sundered Sky proc, given that much healing, just completely saved the fight there. Making that item worth buy. But of course, the main carry of that fight, Sakura, stacking up those orbs again, but the ult, it just deletes people, especially since you have the loot on the first buy as well.
Dodging Xin Zhao for the initial poke. Spot is now in a very bad situation, but instead Syke is going to look to support. Thankfully, everyone's disengaged just in time, but Sakura is now a very scary mid laner, being 2-0 up. It's now very difficult for Spot to even gank this lane, let alone.
This Xin Zhao has had, like, not many opportunities to be able to play off. It's been kind of rough. There's been no proper fights where he's been able to stick in, kind of survive it out. He wants to have a very brawly melee fight and, be able to stay in the fight for as long as possible. The Conqueror just hasn't been able to have that.
Yeah, and once again, I feel like there are so many ticking time bombs on this Rift right now based on the draft we're seeing. I mean, this Cassiopeia going to scale very well as the Syndra, as well as the Jinx. The fact that they've gone Braum in this bot lane is nice for the early level 1, but we didn't see much impact there. And now it is just up for Jinx to just scale through this early to mid game, go for these late game fights, and this could be looking very good for Burnley Esports' elite crew.
Yeah, the Celts have a very mid-game centric team comp. The Akali, MF. Oh,
Sakura finding the 3rd in the mid lane.
I mean, as soon as that Syndra falls, like, slightly ahead, it's such a tough match for Akali.
That being said, we still see a Rift Herald taken from the side of the Celts. Nice objective take there. On top of that, we haven't even mentioned the fact that Once again, Psyche is going in. Sakura Dynasty now looking to escape, but the poison poses the death of them. Now it's just Koribori and Psyche. We've seen this 1,000 times before. And once again, Psyche is kiting. And Spot looks to go in and at least avenge Psyche as they fall.
Oh, so close.
What a close fight. On top of that, we're going to be seeing a double kill in the bot lane for Metro D.
So much just happened right there. I want to touch on that fight. If Psyche had a little bit more mana, that would have been an easy sweep, getting that Kusante kill on top of the shutdown from Syndra. But that was just so unlucky running out of mana there.
I couldn't agree more. As they take the Drake, let's have a quick replay of the bot lane as we missed it.
Yeah, I want to see what happened down here. Oh, of course, we were watching the top side with Psyche, but...
Okay, so we see Ultravarnis is looking to find something. Clock ticking just a little bit longer, and there's the MF exposed. Not the camera, unfortunately, but we do see the knock-up, and Jinx does get excited to follow on to the second. A nice stun there as well, and that would secure the kill. As we see another fight happening, Psyche is back on the Rift, now in the bot lane, and the Celts, they've charged in. Burnley Esports Elite were able to find this Drake, but...
Yeah, picking up that Dragon and leaving without any casualties, actually.
No, they did. They did lose Ultravarnis, unfortunately, for them. I'm curious where that kill went to. It seems like it would have been the Akali.
Yeah, it went to the Akali. I mean,
and here we see another stun go off from Psyche, diving the tower. As Cassiopeia, Armani is going to look to punish, but instead Akali swoops in and pops
This man is
Armani.
a menace, walking around the whole map, picking up kills everywhere he goes. Like, it's ridiculous. The Seraphs and the Leandries is just a powerful combo, being able to stick in that fight for so long. I've mentioned it time and time again, but that Conqueror is making so much work here. This Cassiopeia can stay in the fight for so long with the Seraph shield, and the Leandries doing the burn, and obviously the Cassiopeia poison herself. It's just so much damage and so much healing. It's so tanky as well.
Yeah, I've never seen a more aggressive Cassiopeia in my life. I mean, Cassiopeia's playstyle as a whole is meant to play backwards, right? People are meant to play into the snake, but instead Psyche is just able to create opportunities out of thin air, slithering into these towers. And Burnley Esports Elite, I mean, they had such a good lead. They still have 800 gold as an advantage, but I just feel like now this mid tower has been unlocked. Anything is back on the table.
Yeah, losing those two mid towers just... losing those two mid towers is just... It opens the map so much for Celts. Being able to walk into the Vice jungles, steal those camps, or being able to, move around the map as freely as they want.
So yeah, Sakura Dynasty is able to secure some vision there. The Celts are looking to go into the bot lane, still pushing, but low force looking very dangerously low there as Sakura does dispose all of the utility onto them.
Oh, the Akali versus Kusante on top. It's kind of rough for the Akali being able to be locked down so hard by this Kusante, but...
I think this is fine as long as they are able to get enough wave clear to follow it up. With that being said, Koribori is just so aggressive.
I feel like if he charged that W a little harder, he would have been able to connect and then go in through the all-out. I saw an angle there where Akali does die.
Yeah. The ult is ready to go with the all-out once again. But Sakura Dynasty, are they able to actually take this tower with Ultravarnis? Yes, they are. That is a suspiciously free tower they have taken in the mid lane, and that's going to also unlock the Burnley Bees to navigate the rest of the map so much easier as well.
The most important towers to get down are the mid towers, because they think about it as a triangle, right? Losing that inner point completely makes a dent in the map where you can go freely into the enemy jungle and kind of pop out on both sides. Losing that mid tower is so terrible for Celts. I feel like they should have had better management when it comes to the waves, being able to stop them from walking up and just hitting the tower like that.
Yeah, definitely. I love the exploit there from the Burnley Bees side. They were able to find the opportunity, the crack in the wall, and break it down the middle. That being said, Celts do have the tier 2 mid tower, so it's not like they're any better right now. It's a very dire situation for both. Any mistakes here from now on could result in a 5-stack down the mid lane and punishing very drastically.
Is this CAVC trying something up here?
I don't know,
lane?
but Sakura is, as they get the stun off, looking to follow with the damage.
Oh
and
my God.
absolutely bots Akali. Where did that Celts go?
Jesus Christ.
Cory Bori now in a 1v2 situation. We've seen him here before. Didn't go as well last time. It won't follow the same. Psych is now bountiful.
2v1 on this Cassante. You know, this Cassiopeia is just so fed. No wonder he's just shredded through that Cassante like butter. But with that bot lane fight, the Syndra damage is just really coming through here. I wonder if we're able to see the Syndra stacks, but I imagine it's around like a 110, 120 by now. Like she's gotten that Splinter buff.
Yeah, 106 stacks we're seeing.
Doesn't even have the Splinter buff with the 15% bonus AP. It's as soon as she gets that online, this Syndra is gonna be even more scary than she already is. I'm excited to see the Syndra into team fights.
Yeah, I mean, look at this gold in the mid lane as well. Are we seeing like, what, a 1.5k gold lead approximately? On top of that, I mean, the bot lane is 1,000 gold up for the bees as well. We're seeing no gold lead in the top lane though, and the top lane is the lane we are highlighting here for this game, because I just feel like both gems, both of the diamonds we're seeing, literally are in that lane right now, dueling it out.
Even though this Cassante is just 3-6, it being equal in gold is just it's what you kind of want from your top laner, especially from a Cassante. Like, this guy is, apart from the Cassiopeia, going to be able to tank the rest of the team's damage, especially with that W. He is just an immovable object.
Yeah.
The Dragon comes out for the side of Burnley. You know, 2-2 in Drakes, but we do see a Baron.
Cory Bori has found it, though. They've identified. Is anyone able to follow up on TPs? We're seeing Ultravani looking to recall back instead of going for it.
They're not going to make it in time.
We're seeing no Jinx Rocket to follow either. I think they're just completely forfeiting this, other than Cory Bori looking to take the jungler out, flashes back in and smites.
Although I don't think they needed to smite that, since the rest of Burnley was just nowhere to be found.
There was no contest at all. This was a complete macro blunder from the bees. The Queen Bee had told them to go the wrong way.
Trading a dragon for Baron is almost never worth it. Like, the Baron buff for the next 3-4 minutes is just going to completely demolish these outer tiers. I expect the top tier 2 and the bot tier 2 to kind of go down here. I don't think we're going to see a mid tier 3. It's going to be surprising if that happens, unless they stop playing ARAM.
The only saving grace we can have for the Burnley Bees in this scenario is that they do have all 6 scrubs to play for. So there is no extra tower damage we're going to be seeing other than this Baron buff. And that does mean the game can slow down a little longer for this Sakura and Metro D, Jinx and
the longer
Syndra,
this game goes, the stronger the Syndra and Jinx get. Like, the Vi and Cassante are just facilitators of the damage that the mid and ADC will do. Vi being able to lock down the MF or get to the Akali, and the Cassante just being a nuisance in a backline or in the midst of a team fight. It's completely dependent on the Jinx and the Syndra to do damage, and I do expect them to do that.
Yeah, I expect some damage as well. I can't lie, Psych is always leading the charge, it feels like, despite having a Braum on your team. Is another move completely, as Cory Bori is now caught out, looking to dash out, but doesn't find it, as the whole storm of the Celts smites down this Cassante.
So many ults coming out there just for one Cassante, because it's just that hard to take down. But losing all those ults, but as I said, they're going for the spot tier 2. You know, 5 stacks in the bot side here. I expect them to start recalling, or yeah, the TP comes out from Psyche going top lane, showing out this top wave and maybe getting the second wave, since there's nobody to cover that.
Yeah, well, nice
straight
tempo
next to the
play.
next wave.
Yeah, they have completely bait and switched the Burnley Bees right now. Sakura Dynasty is actually going to be able to catch up, but once again, pushing in these waves is so crucial. I love this understanding from Psych, and the
Yeah, the game sense from the Syndra and Cassiopeia are great here. Instantly TP to top, since no reason to recall, spent all those gold. But, you know, went top, shoved out the next 2 waves, noticed that the Syndra was there, couldn't match it, recalls, spends his gold, and walks back to hover around top side. I imagine after the Syndra pushes out this wave that Cassiopeia is going to go match that.
Yeah, and look at this build from the Snake right now, Psych is going Leandries, followed by Void, followed by Seraph's Embrace, and now going for more tanky items on top.
I feel like that's gonna be a oh, was it? It's either Cosmic Drive or it's the slowdown item.
Oh, that being said, double stun goes down. Psyche is able to flash and stuns 3 instead, turning them to stone. The Jinx Rocket follows, but doesn't do enough.
The TP comes through.
The stun is going Ultra Varnish, but Psyche is half HP. The shield has been procced from Seraphs, and it is not enough.
They are so tanky. Celts just being able to live through all of that damage, it's incredible. If the TP does come through as well, that was the Akali. Just too much HP, too much resistance, too much healing, too much everything.
Yeah, let's get a replay. As you know, we see Spotlight look to go in here and just find such a nice flank onto the team. Jinx Rocket did a little bit of damage as well, but this ult as well being such a good isolator from Metro D well. There was no damage they could do, and they, to be honest, just got stalled.
The Xin Zhao ult was so imperative to that fight, being able to split the team up like that. Oh, the Akali does go in.
Ooh, that is going to be very punishing, though. Lol3 going to get caught out as well. What an overextend from the Celts, and the Bees now have a chance to swarm down this mid lane, push for the Drake, and maybe take this game back.
The Celts just completely overextended there. The Akali and the Xin Zhao just dashing onto the Cassante and what was it, the Jinx, I think? And just going into that enemy base, just no way to get out since the mid-tier 3 is still there. Super risky, and they lost all of their bounties, gave them to this Jinx, who's 5-0-1, currently 2 items, and I think she's about to get her a third just after this dragon fight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But this dragon fight is going to be established by the Burnley Bees. The whole gang is there, except from Corey Bori, who does have TP to follow up if needed, but instead he's going to be matching at mid. That being said, no one follows up. This was a complete misplay from the Celts. They overextended, they gave their hand, and now it is a Mountain Drake sole point for the Burnley Bees.
They put all of their eggs in one basket, and it's just crazy. This Cassante is going to be so tanky. If they get this Mountain Soul, that's 4 Mountain Drakes, 20% extra resistances, on top of the Soul buff of just having that barrier. This Cassante is going to be invincible, on top of the Jinx also having a free barrier, basically a Bloodthirster at all times.
Yeah, the top lane's raid bosses are honestly never more prevalent in this game, as Psyche and Corey Bori are looking to be kind of the main pillars of both sides, with respectively Sakura and Metro D being the key damage carries for the Burnley Bees. And I've seen really good plays from everyone so far on the Rift, but it really is going to be able to distinguish who wins this based on the team fights right now. Because if Metro falls, it's just Corey Bori, a bit of Sakura on one. And yeah, what do you make of these team fights so far?
The team fights are incredibly close. I think if the Cassiopeia gets some uptime, it's playable. But the times where like she doesn't, there is a lack of damage, but she's always been prevalent. I feel like Burnley has always lost most of the team fights, but being able to get picks here and there, be able to take objectives, and just kind of comfortably scaling. This Jinx,
this is so bad. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a really dire situation as Psyche has now got the high ground. It might be over for Anakin, but Corey Bori looking to step in here anyway. Force doesn't have the angle as of yet, as Psyche is going to be caught out. The rest of the team are shut down, going down for Sakura, and the fight continues. Everyone's going through. The Jinx Rocket's going wild.
Oh my god, this Jinx is completely carrying.
Burnley Bees couldn't be more excited right now as they are going for the Baron to shred it down. They still have Akali left for the Celts, as both members are so low. Armani being the front face.
This Leona coming through, hitting the ult onto the Cassiopeia. It's the only carry that Celts really have, connecting the Cassiopeia just completely void. The Vi coming through, it's just the Jinx on the side after the MF ult, just coming in, starting to fry. The Jinx was so insane there. It was a ridiculously well played fight by the Burnley bot lane. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
Hot
and
fire.
with Koribori swooping in, piercing through 2 as well. I mean, that was just
Absolute cinema.
absolute cinema.
Absolute
Master class from the Bees. They were able to, you know, play that very effectively.
Kosante, 4,700 HP, 329 armor.
You know, I was actually really curious to see if Akali would go for that cleanup, though, because, you know, Metro D and Sakura was so low.
Yeah.
And, like, they really felt that as they were taking the Baron, as the Celts did have vision onto all 3. That being said, Armani was there, so it could have been a bit of an in play, but at least taking Metro D away from the Baron buff would have been so good. Now, as we're seeing, the consequences, Snowfall going to half HP with one one Syndra burst.
Yeah, no, this Braum has not looked the best this game. I feel like if the Braum went like a Rel or an Alistar to supplement the MF ult, it would have been looking a lot different. This Braum just doesn't have the opportunity or the peel to defend them, the MF from the Jinx and from the Syndra and from the Vi, which is kind of what I was expecting in the initial draft.
Yeah, quite ironic considering both teams actually do play this Braum, but have had very little success in their own individual performances on solo queue, on flex, etc. I mean, as we see, Ultravan fall. Actually, this is a fight we're looking at right now as a shutdown goes on to Metro D. Corey left alone. The rest of the team needs to follow up, but he's still piercing through the whole team. A double kill goes through. Spot looking to get into the back line, but Sakura Dynasty is falling as Armani is the last one left. And what a turnaround from the Celts. They now have the full Rift in their hands to play with for 40 seconds.
Just went in 1v5 and died. Well, like, if this Cassante was playing front to back with the Jinx or the Syndra, you know, being able to facilitate their damage, instead just goes in. The Akali Zanya just stopped this Cassante from, you know, being able to chain. I imagine with his Triumph, with his Grasp, with his, like, you know, the amount of raw stats, it's just...
Yeah, it just wasn't meant to be, as Ultivanis was caught out initially, leaving the Bees in a 4v5 situation. And I think Koribori just made the desperate play and lost out to it. 20-21. This is such a close game, and now both teams are on Soul Point.
Oh, okay. What I expect to happen in the next, like, 5 minutes is that this Baron is not going to get started until this next Dragon's up. If this Baron gets started, then the next team fight just completely decides the game, I feel. Because the way that teams will want to play this now is that if both the objectives are up and you're on Soul Point, you want to be able to play mid lane and be able to bounce between each river. And if both teams are unable to start the other objectives, they're just going to match the other one, right? You drop Soul for Baron or you drop Baron for Soul. And neither team wants to give up both. So they're just going to pretty much play like ARAM for the next, like, 5 minutes, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean... The Bees could go for an ARAM style, but I don't think that would unlock their full potential. I mean, Koribori would have such a good opportunity to split here. They've still got... Hang on a minute. Psyche is here to flank. The ground goes through. Koribori now in a very difficult situation. It's a 1v5, and he gets slain.
Oh, getting that pick is so important. This Cassante is really strong inside, so, you know, 5-manning him and just getting that kill is so important for the next, like, minute of the game.
But look how it doesn't matter that they picked off Koribori because they have no ways to push with. In fact, they're looking to take the towers instead. What is happening for the Celts? They've overextended their hand once again, and the Bees are able to sting the tier 2 tower in the bot lane.
Yeah, obviously, when you're putting 5 people to go kill one guy, it opens up the rest of the map. Dynasty, realizing this potential, just straight up walks through bot, pushes the lanes, gets that bot tier 2. It's even more gold to the Syndra, which is... I don't even want to think about that. This Syndra is probably the most OP champ that we have on the Rift right now. If she gets any kind of damage or being able to connect an ult onto the MF or to the Akali or to the Cassiopeia, it's... scary.
Wait, we're seeing a 1v2 happening from Akali. Now a 1v3 and instantly denied as Armani looks to bring fist to face as Psyche is now caught out as well. The Zonyas goes through. Low Force gets hit by the Jinx Rocket, and now Psyche still lives and gets one, but
I
gets
can't
taken
believe
down
Psyche goes
in the
1
end.
for 1 there. That's crazy. That was really well played by the by Psyche though. Zon using the second half of the Syndra ult. Crazy play. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Psych, phenomenal performance, but again, there's not much to capitalize on.
As Finlo says in the chat, what a banger. This is absolute cinema right now.
And once again, I feel like every time there is a fight, I just see the scoreboard be only 1 kill difference. Like, this is so close by a hairpin, it feels like.
It's completely neck and neck. Like, I feel like one big team fight for either team completely breaks open the game. We're like on a seesaw and both sides are just equal. It's waiting to break through.
Absolutely.
So excited.
I mean, both teams have a lot of pride to put on this match as well. This is England versus Wales in the big context of things. So, who is going to, push their pride through with the Bees? I think having the upper hand here. They have more map control. They're looking to push for the Baron as well. No one's quite on it just yet, though. This is another gap we're seeing from the Bees. Are the Celts going to realize this as Sput and Psych look to push through this top lane?
They need to be able to match the Baron.
Here's the task force from the Celts. They're looking to push. They're going to get the scuttle, and they are going to realize so much as the vision pops. There we see Ultivarnis has
Having
been
this
caught.
river control is so good for Celts. Like, we need this CAVC to get some uptime.
There's the TP from Cassante.
The TP comes through.
Will history repeat itself in this
Corey
river?
as
we're seeing Psych getting focused on, bursted out, but the rest of the team is getting failed by the misfortune. Such an unfortunate play for the side of the Bees, but they still have the Queen Bee, Corey, who's now in a 1v3 situation, looking to push it up through Raptors, but no one is falling. Corey left alone, looking to push a little bit more.
This Akali is so low, if you can at least go 1 for 1.
200 years of game design leading Corey for this final fight as the ace goes for the Celts.
If we can get a replay there, I want to see what the Xin Zhao did that fight, because he was able to catch 3 off.
Quick replay for that fight, as I believe Celts are going to look to make their final.
Xin Zhao is just
siege.
So 1v9.
And Corey Bori, really nice here. He actually dodged a lot of skill shots, which made it look like 200 years of game design.
It is rough for, the 1v3 there, but that Xin Zhao completely going in, ulting, splitting up the entire team fight.
The whole team's back. It's not over. Corey left enough time for the rest of the team to respawn.
Yeah.
What a champ!
Yeah, like Corey living for that long was so nice for the side of Burnley, but 4 kills ahead for Celts.
Yeah, this is the biggest divide we've seen so far, I feel like.
When it comes to gold, like, it is completely identical. There is a 400 gold difference.
And Celts, this is the soul point. This is so important to play for. It's already half HP. The Bees need to get in fast, but so much pressure from Psych, and Red Team secure the mountain
Soul
break.
comes through. MFO!
Oh, look at the MFO! Absolutely spraying down onto the rest of the team. Ultivarnis, the first to fall, 4v5 situation, and now Psych is in the limelight. Metro D's popping off. Snowfall looking to shut down this Jinx, but she's too excited to go. There we see it actually, Low Force being able to secure the final blow. But Corey and Sakura are left to play.
I take it back. The MF and
he's still going through. He's not even used his ult yet. Snowball! It's just now left to Sput.
Oh my god!
Down.
Kills 2!
But it's now a 1v2 situation still. Sakura versus Akali and Low Force.
Oh my god, this game is so close. I take it all back. I take all the words back. This MF and Braum is like opening this game up right now. We thought it was the Cassiopeia. We thought it was the Akali. We thought it was the Xin Zhao. But that fight, Braum completely denying everything that the Jinx was going to do. I saw the first kill go to the Jinx that Get Excited was getting procced, and nothing was happening. This Braum was just denying everything. So good. So good for Celts.
I mean, we need 2 replays for
this.
We
need like 5 replays.
There's so much that happened. But here we see such good control from Psych, but not able to get any stuns off, which is key as Ultivarnis looks to kind of get onto the back line.
This MF
gets
chunking out everybody. But watch the Braum on the Jinx. I saw this during the fight, and it's just crazy. The amount of negative damage just Jinx is doing against the Braum. It is so funny.
But look at that. Yeah, I mean, such good application of Braum from Snowfall there.
That's what we wanted to see the whole game, and I think this is the team fight where he needed to do that.
More than ever. And really nice, Koribori being able to get 2 kills here.
Yeah, no.
Just barely. Look at these health bars, by the way.
200 years of game design. We gotta love Cassante, guys. I want everyone to say it. Cassante is my favorite champion in the League of Legends.
As we enter plus the 40-minute mark on the Rift right now, it is now a battle of attrition. I mean, most champs in this game have their power spikes. I think Jinx just needs to get one more full item and then their full build. I mean, Metro D, I mean, it's really in anyone's hands right now. It is just in the matter of a coin
Everybody
flip.
is on their 5th or 6th item, and it's looking insane. Like, I feel like both teams are on the same playing field. Gold does not matter
Oh,
anymore.
Tavares, you're getting caught out again, but able to peel for Metro D. This is so crucial. The MF sprays onto the bees, and that is going to be the insect killer they need to win this Baron
The
fight.
MF blowing that hellfire of an ult onto everybody on Burnley.
They're just going for the end. That is it. 42 minutes into the game, we have found the final ace of this match.
Oh my god.
What a game to start this week. Week 3 of Student Champs Nationals for British Esports. And we have our first winners on the Rift here today. The Celts.
God.
Have
That TV coming out in
yeah,
the final first, like, oh.
absolutely deserved.
That MF and Braum in the last 10 minutes of that game sold it.
So we are going to throw this to a break. That has been a phenomenally long game. But once again, congratulations. Teams played fantastically. We will see you very soon in the host desk.
See you later.
Oh my goodness, welcome back after that short break to Shooting Champs Nationals. That was what a game, honestly. It is completely back and forth. I was hoping for the older elites to take it, the Burnley elites, but they do not in the end. It does go to the Celts. And Freddie, we're going to do a little recap with Freddie. Talk to us about that game. Any key moments that you really highlighted? Any key players that you want to shout out? Perhaps an MVP performance? Talk to me. Talk to the audience. Down the barrel of the camera. Talk to me.
Well, there was a lot of plays that happened that game for sure. It was a big back and forth. We were seeing a lot of different team fights happening. I think what really changed the course of that game was that Leona rotating up to those void grubs, yanking that Casso, zoning her off. It got her low and it set the Cassandra up to get back in that game. Even though he still lost lane, we saw him do some plays earlier, like under his tier 3 turret near the inhibitor, he engaged on that Brom, winning that team fight, getting that Jinx into the game, getting everyone back into the game. Certainly a lot of vital moments. Saw a lot of cross maps as well that game.
Cross maps, yep. It's good. You know, it seemed like there's the Burnley Elites champion pick. Look at that. It was very standard. Honestly, Jinx and Leona in the bottom lane as well. So once they got their own lead, Leona moves along, goes up to the top lane, says, hey, I can help a brother out too up in the top lane. I like to see it. And not only that, but Syndra's doing pretty well into that Akali, doing decent.
I mean, you could see the different comps certainly at play. Like we saw like the Celts definitely snowballing that game, but the Elites had such a good team comp that it just allowed them to clawing back into the game, keeping like in there.
And it came to those team fights, and oh my goodness! And there we see the Celts. Look at that snowballing comp, trying to find it. I feel like what happened is the Burnley Elites got a little bit shaky into that late game, very late game team fights, and we're just running into it as no, never mind. As I thought we were going to see the replay there, but they started just grouping up in this MF ult, and that MF ult does too much damage. Here we're going to see just that final team fight, and you're going to witness it. This is where the MF, look at this, complete items across the board. We're 40 minutes in the game. There's how many dragons? Too many dragons. We got 70k, and here we go. Look at this. Cassio does a flash forward, tries to find something. Jinx is out of the fight. The MF ult is there, cleaning it up. Just that final team fight. Too much damage for them. Absolute ace. And they take it. Hey, no need. Super's mid. And they run it down. Finish the game. Incredible. What a replay is that? Woof. And that is how that first game ended. It was a back and forth, absolutely intense. And an equally intense match we're going to see in game 2 was top of the tables with the Cyphers versus the Barbarians sitting 1-1. There they are. Beautiful logos. Oof, I love to see it. Now, OP.GG's, my friend. They're back in action.
Indeed they are.
I must admit, I didn't quite get a chance to have a quick look because I was transfixed on that game 1. But from what I've seen, it kind of looks like the Barbarians are another bit of that mystery team. I'm not really sure what they're picking. I saw some Enchanter in the bot lane. You know, who doesn't love an Enchanter? Hey, who doesn't love an Enchanter? Support is really nice. And then ADC looking like a Twitch. Little bit of a rat. Little bit of a rat going on in the bot lane.
Good pairing with that Enchanter support player. Very nice pairing. But Twitch hasn't been the most dominant this patch.
Not in the slightest, no. It's always been that Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
You Kai'Sa. How could you? But we've got to talk about, honestly, the Cyphers. They've been popping off on solo queue, honestly. They've been getting in their games, grinding out. Do you see some Ambessa? Gotta remind you, not going to see it tonight. I'm sorry. I know if we'd only played next week, yeah, we might have seen it, but not tonight, unfortunately. We won't see that Ambessa. I would have loved to see it, but not tonight, unfortunately.
Always a fun champ to watch.
But what the top laner might play instead is a bit of that Aatrox. Oh, hello. How do you feel about Aatrox?
Aatrox is certainly one of those picks. He's he's not exactly losing into anything. He can always go kind of neutral, but it's also a pick that can't really. It's hard to win lane on him. He's not been the most meta defiant recently. We haven't seen him really anywhere, and he's got nerfs recently.
Is it Niall or something? That sort of
Niall.
I believe he. I remember watching a clip this was quite a while ago, but he has kind of 2 builds. The lethality, where you don't do too much, you kind of scale, and then into that late game is crazy. As we're jumping into draft, we've got the names right this time, and on the right side. That's right, people. We see Barbarians on the blue side. I keep doing that wrong. And the Colonel Cyphers, the red side.
Oh.
Love to see it. What are they going to do in draft? Maybe they watched the other game, because they were getting a bit antsy to hop on to the Rift themselves.
Kassadin ban coming out immediately from the Barbarian.
Ooh, they're on a timer. They better end this game quick, because I've heard the Colonel's building does close at 6. So get through draft quick, people. Come on. What's your first ban?
Oh,
Nyla. I've seen a lot of Nyla. I don't know why. I've seen a lot of Nyla.
Nyla's a very good pick. Especially if you can get that. If you see the enemy bot lane picks, if you see the enemy picks, you can. There's a lot of specialties that Nyla can go into.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm assuming it's kind of like a melee support with like a low range ADC. You can just dodge all their auto attacks. Syndra Akali. Maybe they watched last game. And they're giving us a treat by saying, you're not going to see that mid lane matchup again. We're getting something different for game 2 already. I love it. Okay. Taking them off the board. Goodbye, Syndra. Goodbye, Akali. How does the Barbarians, Banbury Barbarians?
Ari ban coming out.
Okay. Some mid lane bans coming through. A lot of mid lane bans. They're afraid of the old Porlax on the side of the Cyphers.
Banning that Seraphine on the Barbarians. Very big ban, very big ban. That ult, that utility of W, she's always relevant. She always has enough CC utility to keep you in the game.
Ooh, new Swain?
New Swain!
Where do we see new Swain? I can't believe this. And they're definitely not in order. Look at that. He's hovering. He's got a flash smite on the top lane.
Set hover from.
Looks like comfort. I was going to mention it after the Aatrox, but we jumped way too fast into draft. Does play a few of the set games. Are you a bit of a set enjoyer yourself?
Indeed.
I've seen you play a little bit of set.
Set's very fun. You can just dive in, W one shot. See a Warwick.
I know admin's buzzing over that one. Warwick, haven't seen him in Arcane yet, but we see him today for game 2. Junior Champs Nationals. Let's go. Oh my goodness. This feels like just comfort across the board, looking like.
Barbarians are keeping their picks quiet. Oh, or not. They could. So we're seeing a Malphite farm.
Okay.
We can still see a Swain flex into both the mid lane and support.
Okay. BA Student Champs, public service announcement. Can we mix it up a bit? I feel like we just keep picking topside every time for this first round of big ban. I don't know how this has happened. Maybe it's a one-off, maybe it's just a fluke, but it feels like they're just picking topside each time. Fair enough.
Even though that set did pick comfort, he is into the Malphite.
Look at that. Ooh. There's the choice expected. They didn't pick it. Nice. There we go. Taking off the rat. Not going to allow him on his good champion. Avoid that comfort from the bot lane. I'm kind of not sure what they're going to do. I would personally get some engage out of the option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you want to talk about
Samira?
I believe I think Silas, when there's a Malphite on the enemy team, has a ridiculously increased win rate.
Yes, it's the highest in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter either.
It doesn't matter the position. Yeah, I've watched the August short or something on YouTube, and it just talks about, okay, there's this one thing where it's like, no matter the role and no matter the position that Malphite is playing in, if there's a Silas on the enemy team, it has an insane bolstered win rate because he just steals it, and it just is a better Malphite ult.
But we see no Kai'Sa ban this game. Could they look for a Kai'Sa bot into this Malphite? Prevent too much AD on their team.
We'll see. Look at it. That's why he's the analyst. Let's go, Freddie. What a call out. That's why he's getting paid the big bucks tonight. Well done.
Caitlyn counter pick. Lafali looking really strong this pack. We were seeing it paired with the Karma. Very big poke lane.
Very annoying. Usually, typically, it's like that Lux, but Karma kind of brings a bit more team utility instead of the damage. It's kind of that trade-off. I know Prod's not a fan, but you know what?
They lock it
Fine.
in.
Karma does good.
What do they
Ronaldo
look to
looked
counter
good
on
here.
the support?
R5 support is a bit wild in my opinion, but you know, it's okay. Fair enough, you know. Come on, give us some spice. Give us something.
Covering a variety of...
Oh, Nico, come on. Oh my goodness.
Sticking on the Nico.
I know 2 people in production are buzzing right now if they pick that Nico. No!
Look on the Nautilus.
And it's a not. Should have known, honestly. Should have known.
That's
Nautilus.
a very good Nautilus
Mhm.
pick. Allows you to get on that Caitlyn even without the Malphite. Because even though there is a Silas, that Malphite will still have a long cooldown on.
Well, it's like, is it 120?
Yeah.
Yeah, 120 seconds on that Silas before he can steal it once again. Honestly, what am I looking at? It's looking like comfort. It's looking wild. Warwick, I feel like not typically seen, but I love seeing a Warwick. I know there's a fan back in Prod who loves Warwick himself. Swain, new Swain. What do you heard? I heard it's not too good right now, but they have done some minor little tweaks and buffed it back up again.
I've heard it's quite good, but I think it always depends on the enemy team comp when you're picking Swain. You got to be able to get in there. Either his Q is just too short into some mages, especially the meta one. But we're seeing that Syndra ban.
I think it's all right because they are melee, right? So it kind of is allowing that. Builds the Rylai's, has the slows when he's got the ult, and you can proc that ult again. You can recast it. That's so good, honestly.
Blackfire on Swain this game. They're into 4 melees. It's looking massive.
Goes hard.
But on the opposite end, you could see the Silas stealing that Swain ult.
Yeah, I feel like Silas has some nice ultimates to steal.
Yeah.
Apart from Karma and perhaps Warwick, that might be goofy to see. You know, seeing a Silas jump in looking for the game.
The Warwick, I don't think the Warwick ult's that bad.
It's not that bad. Yeah,
100%.
It's still a suppressed. Like Caitlyn headshot. I'm not sure how they tried to balance the AP scaling quite nicely. As you get a little zoom in. I'm so excited. I love Silas myself. It is lovely, lovely pick. Really annoying to play against, but super fun to play. Perhaps that is how they carry. So we talked about mid lane matchup. Kind of good either way. I want to feel because Silas is. Honestly, we saw it at Worlds. He can dash towards you and just stay on you and just find himself a kill, even though he misses every Q and E2, you know?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of this bot lane? Kaiser, is it like typically what I think when it's like Enchanter into engage support is like as soon as a hook lands, they might win out on the trade. But meanwhile, when that hook's on cooldown, they're getting chipped down, right?
It's rough to say because we're seeing a lot happen, right? And we're seeing the Warwick pick, meaning that if the Cyphers get poked out too much or they're taking that bad hook, it is looking very bad for them. Not to mention Karma is keeping the hill right.
Karma is keeping the hill, and with that, any last points?
No, I don't think so.
I'm hoping for another absolute fist fight like in game 1. We will see who takes it. Does Colonel Cyphers go 3-0 in this match? Or does Barbarians look for a little bit of upset as I'm going to throw you beautiful people over to the equally handsome casters, Nanojuice and Skilton.
Thank you, Michael and Freddie. And who is ready for game 2? I'm Louis Skilton once again.
And I'm Alex Nanojuice.
And yeah, I've got to say, like, we have what I thought was going to be the first or the only stacked game in game 1. We have another banger ahead of ourselves because Conal Cyphers are the crowned winners this summer. Last year in British Esports, Student Champs Nationals for League of Legends. They've shown to be an exceptional team above the rest. And the Barbarians really have a lot to work for here.
Yeah. Returning champs versus, a new team that's coming through. I'm excited to see this because we saw in draft, I feel like Colonel Cyphers don't have the best draft in my opinion. There's not a lot of front to back. There's not a lot of midst of the team fight kind of damage, but they have quite a lot of zoning with the Malphite, with the Swain. It's quite nice zoning, but when it comes to front to back team fighting,
yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel like one thing we're looking at here, right, is if we just looked at the lanes, if we just looked at jungle v jungle, top v top, it is Colonel Cypher's dream. So if they do not win early, I'll be very surprised. That being said, I don't feel like anyone's mentioned this yet. It's Silas into a Malphite. If Silas has like an 87% win rate into Malphite,
It is-
if he's against him. I think Michael actually did mention it. I'm just forgetful. But what is really important here is, as we go later and later into the game, we've seen it in previous Student Champs matches, is if a Silas gets a Malphite ult, there is always a way back into the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This Silas building half HP, half AP, it is... That Malphite ult on enemy AD or enemy jungle just completely demolishes. It is crazy. And it's not just a Malphite ult. If I can remember, you also have Swain ult. Swain ult with Silas is really good.
And we've got a reworked Swain as well.
Oh, yeah.
I really do think that, this Swain's going to be interesting with the Silas ult. As we go on to the Rift, Conal Cyphers versus Banbury Barbarians. The Kings versus the Crown Chasers. Bigger B looking to lead the charge for Conal. As we actually see, I think they're going to get vision very early here, but with such a cheeky level 1 invade here.
5v5.
Oh, no! Scorpion!
Ooh.
Going down to the first blood
To
against
set
Bigger
as
B.
well.
Yeah, that's the boss right there you're looking at.
That's the boss. Now, if anyone knows me, I like my set. I'm a big set fan, so I am excited to see this.
Well, I'm a big Swain fan, so it's literally going to be like, who is going to have their favorite champ win today? As I think, I just got to check. The Conal Cyphers, they've I believe they do have the first blood here. That's going to be so good for them as the game goes on.
You know, this set having that first blood with the longsword and double potion as well for this Malphite lane. Huge. The biggest problem with the set versus Malphite is that the amount of poke that the Malphite has, especially with Comet, just hurts set so bad. On top of the armor stacking, on top of the attack speed slow, on top of the wave clear, just having that little extra AD in the early game matters so much.
Yeah, and such a very decisive start. Like, Conal Cyphers are really putting their philosophy onto the Rift right now. As, they've been able to secure a really nice level 1 invade, shown their strength here. And, they are the Kings for a reason, the champions on the Rift. They won last year, and they've gone undisputed in the previous weeks, winning both games. Right now, we have a Titan to tackle for the Banbury Barbarians. That is a tongue twister.
Yeah, that is a tongue twister. Banbury.
Oh, here goes the Ignite, and Porlac flashes in, barely escaping, but the Scorch is going to allow Scorpion to munch down on Porlac. 1-for-1 trade there, but Porlac securing the first blood is going to be
That's a hungry wolf right there. Smelt the scent of blood. That's a pretty good trade for Silas, in my opinion. I feel like giving a kill to Warwick is going to matter a lot more in the early game than late game.
Yeah.
But that Silas, Dark Seal, kill up, that's scary now.
It is scary.
Ooh,
as we
good
see,
trade
Haymaker get a little bit of chip damage there, but Bigger B is going to be chilling in this top lane. There's none of the junglers are going to contest top here. It is a battle for bot, as Borby Dorbal and Justino are really going to be looking for potentially a counter gank with this Lee Sin following short behind Scorpion, who's actually neglected a lot of camps here to try and get this bot lane pressure.
Yeah, no, the CS Def in jungle, 7 up. This Lee Sin's ready to go, skipping the Gromp, going straight to bot lane. I feel like you could do your Gromp in this time.
Yeah.
You don't really need to hover just yet, especially with the wave stats crashing. Waiting for the crab. Warwick obviously has to do his Krugs and his Raptors before he even thinks about doing a crab. So Lee Sin's in a comfortable spot.
Yeah, it couldn't be more comfortable, actually, as we're going to see ships in the night sail. Scorpion has left the bot lane, and Loot is going to look for the gank. And we see Loot swooping back in. Akano is low!
But
what a beautiful block by Jessington. Scorpion looking for the counter gank.
No,
it's only Loot.
Go. Oh, that was really, really well played by Lee Sin there, though, and the Nautilus. Connecting that hook, the double Q from the Lee Sin, big chunk. That Kai'Sa, so close to finishing off that Caitlyn, but as you can see, losing that flash and losing the barrier, that hurts, especially for a Nautilus Kai'Sa lane.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, Porlac is establishing himself as the more dominant mid laner.
Yeah, no.
Getting a CS lead on Sylas this early is not unheard of, but again, Porlack just snagging in a kill.
Wait, did we have a replay for
and
that?
missed it. What just happened there in the mid lane? As Sylas didn't even have summoners right there. Absolute surgical play from Porlack.
This Sylas is looking really scary, especially with the Dark Seal. Getting that stacked up nice and early. Let's see what happens. Oh, I guess we...
Just barely missed it.
Just
Even the
barely
replay
missed it.
couldn't go back far enough for that.
Oh, big chunk onto the small fight here. No mana. Looking for a recall. This set is freezing under his own tower. That's what you really want from this matchup in top lane. As much as my experience goes, you really want to be able to have the wave on your side of the lane.
Couldn't agree more. As we see, currently, a bit of calm before the storm. The Drake is ready to go. Grub's going to be spawning in soon, and it's now up to the junglers to decide which they value more. As currently, it's actually quite interesting here. We're seeing a bit of confusion here. Lout wants to go for this for these grubs, but instead, Bigger B is going to look for a freeze. Scorpion going for the bot lane, but Apollo is still pushed under tower. You know, this isn't an optimal play for either side right now, as both are being forced into a corner. Apollo,
Good chunk.
yeah, doesn't have to flash, didn't have it in the first place.
Colonel would really like to get these grubs. The set and the Sylas split lanes, especially with the Kai'Sa damage, like having these grubs increases your tower damage
dude.
tenfold.
Ward hops in, gets the Q down, slams down as well, but Bigger
Big
B
chunk.
isn't able to follow up. Still really good chunks. Actually kind of trading on behalf of the laners. The presence from Lau right so far has been beautiful.
Getting these grubs here matters so much for Colonel, and Burnley need to split this map and go for this dragon right now. If they're not able to do that...
Ooh, there we have Porlack finding the third.
A third solo kill. This is what I was talking about a second ago.
But here comes the Wolf. Big Bad Wolf looking to go down the
He's a
middle.
hungry wolf.
Instead, he's going to look to contest the
Yeah.
grubs instead. But Loot has already found two. If
Malphite
anyone
can walk down from this. Getting 2 grubs is still fine. Lee Sin can maybe ward hop. Or does he want to fight?
Ooh, actually, it does manage to get the
This
fleet
Malphite-
off. And here comes the knockup from Malphite. Manages to secure the third, but trades his life instead.
I don't think Lee Sin should have done that. He should have either flashed over the wall or ward hopped over or something. Giving that kill over matters so much, especially to this Warwick. Being 2-1 early for this Warwick, he's so good in the mid game.
I couldn't agree more. One thing I've got to note, right, is how we're seeing the Drake still up. Now, whilst Loot was going for the top lane gank earlier, as we said, we did see Scorpion on the bot side, so not capitalizing on that is actually kind of scary here. We're seeing a lot of tempo being given up by the Banbury Barbarians. And you know what? I would understand why. You're against Conal Cypher, the champions of last year, as Bigger B is looking to go for the pounce, gets the showdown, Haymaker following.
Another big chunk for
Dead
Set.
kill.
Like, if you look at the top CS, every single time my fights walked up, Set's just been there, punch, hitting that Haymaker, hitting the face breaker, like... it's always solo.
Steals the Malphite. Oh, this is what we've been waiting for, as Average Adam is going to get low. And Bigger B, the Haymaker saves him with the shield. But here come Scorpion and Apollo looking to still fight here. Flashes in instead, looking for the set.
He still has the Malphite ult.
He still does have Malphite. Oh, and the knockup goes
God.
crazy.
This Sylas is such a big carry right now. 5-1, 8 stacks on Dark Seal. This man is a menace. Oh my God.
I could not agree more. I mean, Apollo was going to be there for that fight, but just couldn't find the time.
No, not fast enough. I don't think having a 0-3 Swain walking top into this very strong set in Sylas is going to make much of a difference.
Lou does get the mark, but Justino is going to block it instead, and Scorpion, once again, has been beaten in the race for an objective. But does find the Sylas. Gonna run away
Not even
instead.
gonna try to fight that. I wouldn't want to fight that either, bro. I get you.
I don't blame you. When you're 20 CS ahead.
5 kills, 8 Dark Seal stacks, 2 levels ahead. It's terrifying, this Sylas right now.
Yeah, so once again, we were kind of expecting the Banbury Barbarians to have the lead here with these champs. You know, the Caitlyn Karma being really dominant into Bauble and Xeno's comp, as well as Apollo, theoretically, should be better against Silas. A bit of a question, like with the Summonary, going for the new poke Silas would have been optimal. That being said, Porlock's just an absolute demon right now. Gets the Silas ult to follow and drains Apollo's life away for the 4th time
Like, it's
this
just so
game.
unfair when you're this far behind. This Silas just one-shots you. 10 stacks in the Dark Seal now. Finished the Proto Belt. Like, everybody on Colonel is just demolishing right now. Even ADC, Kai'Sa has a CS lead, has the advantage, and obviously Kai'Sa scales way harder than Caitlyn does, especially for the mid game. You know, I feel like Caitlyn takes over in scaling when you hit that 4th, 5th item, but with the way the game's looking, it's gonna happen a lot in the first 20 minutes.
In our oversight, we didn't actually see the Nautilus has fallen this game to Jettington. And let's have a look at the replay here,
Yeah, Warwick's here. The nice sphere gets the kill out. It's sad that it goes to Karma, but it's still a kill nonetheless. We take that. I feel like you'd want it to be able to take that if you're Banbury. But,
I mean, Karma being online early is really good. That being said, Porlock is going to punish.
Oh my god, the damage is crazy. The Silas. Oh my god. This Silas is completely 1v9.
He is, honestly, we were talking about it earlier. If Silas gets a Malphite ult, we're looking at, what was it, an 84% win rate against the competition? Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's going to get an 84% win rate without the Malphite ult.
Not only does he have the Malphite ult to steal, he also has the Swain ult, which gives him so much sustain in teamfights. The AoE damage you get from that is just so insane. This Silas needs to be brought down to earth, and I don't feel like there's a way that they can do it. They need to be able to 3-stack on the Silas, but the way he's playing safe, he's playing with his team, he's always got another person nearby. He doesn't take that many risks, and I feel like that's such a good quality to have in your mid laner.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that...
This Warwick is so urgent. The TP comes through.
This is a 3v2 situation right now, and Porlock has made the first move. Gets the Warwick ult, pouncing onto Scorpion himself. And that's what a nice evade. Porlock has no mana to follow through, but that's still going to put average at him.
Anyway, Porlock chases. This is just, oh my god. Colonel are just stomping right now.
This Caitlyn, low Bauble is.
Just, yeah, looks like we're fine. The Caitlyn is 1 HP. I can see in my head the Silas Malphite ult straight under tower.
Yeah. Bauble having a kind of a run with it right now. Porlock hasn't actually backed yet. I can't even imagine what he's going to go for. I would be surprised if he didn't go Medjay's at this point.
Yeah, like 8-1 Silas running around the map. There's the Mayeyes, picks up another Amp Tome, picks up Boots. Like, this dude is just like Hydrodrum Bomb versus Coughing Baby at this point.
It is, as currently... Well, there still is a lot to play for. The Medjay's could actually be a huge blunder for Colonel Cyphers, because if Porlock falls now, that's going to be a lot of the potential of this Silas pick falling. Apollo still is Silas, is Swain even, and does have the opportunity to win out some really nice team fights if he's able to drain tank properly. Scorpion not doing too bad either, and this bot lane is still yet to fulfill their potential. So Barbarians still have the fight in them. They just need to prove it as we go to our 13-minute mark on the Rift.
I do want to mention quickly that the sword boots for Silas.
Apollo.
Is there another kill coming through? No, just a big chunk. I did want to quickly mention that the Sock Shoes for Silas is a kind of a risky buy. I feel like versus this team comp, you want the Merc Treads, you know, being able to deny the fear from Warwick and the stuns and the slows and stuff. I feel like that's just going to be way more important.
Does it? Or do you just want to one-shot them instead, as Scorpion now has to dash away from the Drake? This Porlock in the mid lane is just putting pressure down. And yeah, that's going to be Colonel Cyphers looking to secure their second Drake. That being said, Jettington could go for a really nice Karma steal here. Porlock gets another kill. Wait, under tower as well. This is so good. I don't think it matters. It's a 3-level difference, and Porlock still has the chains to unleash. Does hit it.
Oh
And
my
that is just going to burst. Scorpion done. Wait, that does open the opportunity.
Oh, this Caitlyn goes down.
No.
Oh, another a kill to the Kai'Sa now. The full game is just crumbling apart. What I expect from Chrono right now is just, you know, getting on this Herald right now. Getting, tower dive. Oh, the Achilles and kick. Oh, straight onto Silas. More stacks. He's got 22 stacks in May Eyes. It is so stern.
Karma delivery in the mid lane. Loot is ready to completely destroy.
That Silas pre-ordered that Caitlyn.
Yeah, Amazon delivery right now.
Holy.
Came with Prime.
Oh my god.
And let's have a look, because
it's the Karma.
if we look at the minimap, it's literally just an uncontested loot walking through the jungle, giving Porlock another kill for the Magi.
Some like Uber Eats on the Karma. Oh my god. I will say, I feel like the biggest win con you could have this game is if this Caitlyn does manage to somehow get 4 items. I feel like this Caitlyn is the only person on Banbury that could really change the tides. Oh, the double E!
The Scorpion is just
matter.
going to fall,
matter.
crushed like a bug, because Porlock is ready to unleash his chains this game. We've seen Conal Cyphers go flawlessly so far throughout these weeks, and they are the champions of last summer. There is just so much for this Conal Cyphers team to fulfill right now, and I bet Finley, in the manager's seat right now, is grinning.
Like, this Silas definitely had his fair share of gamer subs before this game. He is completely 1v9 right now. This Silas is so terrifying. Like, I don't feel like I could comment on anything else. I mean, to be honest, I feel like the set building Cleaver is kind of inspirational. I feel like the set would either want his Triforce or Stridebreaker or Titanic Hydra. I just don't feel like Cleaver really fits here. This Kai'Sa's
ADC 1v1. Oh, what a nice pounce there from Scorpion, but can be denied by Borby Doorball. It's a 1v2 right now. Apollo finds his way in. Loot is going to kick away Apollo. There we have it.
Oh, this Lee Sin.
The rest of the Barbarians are falling him to Valhalla, as Jettington is the last one to look for an escape. Average Adam is too far away and is instead going to get picked off by Porlock as well, I feel like.
The bot lane walking up here, I thought it maybe could turn the tide, but Lee Sin just comes through, takes the Warwick down, finds the Swain, kicks the Swain, goes in, cleans up, and it's just a 1v9 performance from the Kai'Sa as well.
What a good re-engage.
And finding the damage, and just, it's so crazy. Even without the Silas, the rest of the team is picking up their own slack and getting their own damage in.
Yeah, and Bigger B, we haven't actually seen him past the 10-minute mark, I feel like, but he's 2-0-3 with a Black Cleaver in hand, and wait, hang on, Conal could have overextended here. Borby Doorball and Zeno are still very low. There's the Malphite ult to knock up. They need to follow it. There's the shutdown for Geno. Can they follow it up? Zeno.
Do we get a second for the Caitlyn?
This is so close.
Right now.
Yes, find it.
Okay.
Barbarians are still looking for a fight. That being said, Porlock.
They're not going to go down just yet. Not going down just yet, baby.
And yeah, this Caitlyn, as you said, is the ADC that we need to keep an eye on, because as long as the rest of the team can play around this ADC, there is enough damage for this Silas, for this Borby Doorball, for even this Nautilus.
This is exactly what we needed right now.
And we got a replay over a replay as Apollo once again.
This Silas just picking off people one by one by one.
Oh wait, hang on. Items. We were a bit too copium right there. As we see, Conal Cyphers have launched themselves onto the rift.
It's
Scorpion, Akino, and Average Adam have fallen.
Been 18 minutes. It's been 18 minutes, Louis.
Conal Cyphers have deciphered this game, downloaded the Barbarians, and are going to be sending them to Valhalla very soon.
Right? There's just no way they end. Okay. Just a little bit more time.
They don't end, actually, no. I was, honestly, with the performance of Porlock, I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if this man went under tower and just just pented them. Like, he is so strong. Level 13, 25 stacks, 2 items, half of a decap there. Oh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, if we wanted to talk about KDA's post this match, all of them are going to be sitting very tightly as they only have one death at most, except from Justino. I mean, so we're seeing an engage go off. Apollo's low, but still unleashes the crows as he gets picked off by Porlock once again. The team is there to follow.
He's cleaning up.
Dennington is now running away. Average Adam has nothing to unleash. The mountain has been moved and is crumbled by the Cyphers.
This Silas is completely done. He's completely done.
Biggerby not been on the rift the entire time. Spotlight's not on him, but he will be the one to deliver the final blow.
Towers. Oh my god. With the hull breaker, the 6 grabs, it's so over.
The rest of the team looking to go for the end. I mean, it's just up to Akeno now. The last one
He's just
left.
hitting the Nexus. He does
Scorpion
not care.
looking to follow through, but that's it for Conal Cyphers.
This was a 20-minute game.
They're going to continue their score 3-0 now on week 3. A flawless start to the season. And
that's crazy.
The Barbarians, the underdogs of this game, have been shown why, because such an exceptional performance is really going to put the rest of the competition in fear.
Porlock, MVP of the series, I'm just saying, but I think that's it from us, right?
Yeah, Porlock locked in, and I believe with such a performance like that, we're going to be saying our goodbyes and throwing this over to our 2 very talented hosts to break it down and farewell to the stream. So see you later.
See ya.
Oh my goodness, what a match. That was incredible. Crunch time for the Colonel Cyphers. What is it? Their college closes at 6? Hey, we've got time for that. Easy game. Porlock's locked in on the Silas, finds the kills. What was the final score? Like 18-1? That guy was insane. Medjai Soul Stealer as well, completed. So many stacks on that. Completed stacks. Just ran over the game. Incredible performance from the Colonel Cyphers. 3-0, looking to win it all, honestly. What is there to analyze, honestly? Freddie, you were saying?
That's nearly
what
nothing.
What more can you say? Other than that game was just insane, just mid-diff. Roaming up top, just getting kills.
Near the end, the Malphite did manage to find a way to get that Caitlyn. Some shutdown, some goals. There was something there. They were trying to look for those fights. They were doing a lot of fights out of desperation, but they couldn't claw anything back. They clawed a few kills, but what can you do when Silas is just running you over?
Just too far ahead at the end of the day. So much gold in the pockets of that Silas. Pockets in the whole enemy team. The Lee Sin was landing some nice combos, ward hopping all over the place. Q lands, Q2, nice. Getting the kills. What more can you say? It's just incredible performance from Colonel Cyphers. They're a team to be honestly reckoned with. If I was in this, I'd be scared. If I see Colonel Cyphers in my week for next match, I'm shaking in my boots. Whoever that is, you better be afraid. They're going to come in strong.
Gonna ban that Silas after seeing that.
Can you ban this guy out? Maybe the Silas is a bit more. Perhaps we learn if we want to pick. There's the Malphite. If we want to pick the Malphite, perhaps we ban the Silas. Maybe that's something. They did, B1 the Swain and then go into. Can't remember the draft. I can't remember. I think it was Silas 3, right? Yeah. As soon as you saw that Malphite Warwick, they're like, "Thank you." Yeah. Yeah, they saw that and they were like, Silas looks good here, and it certainly did on the Rift. Porlock, MVP of that, honestly, just ran over for the Cyphers.
The Malphite pick, when he picked it, he was into, all he could see was a set and a Lee Sin, so it looked promising, but we could never do it. It's just too hard. Can't blind it with that Silas open.
Cannot do that. That is illegal, unfortunately. Maybe wait for the second round before we start picking Malphite. Something to learn from the side of Barbarians. It will go 1-2 in this round 3 of keep going the wrong way of BA Champs Nationals. Damn, what more? The bot lane they had some good things from Barbarians. Here's the final. Bit of one of the final kills. Look at this. They're trying their best, but look at that gold lead.
Imagine that pick on the Kai'Sa.
I've never seen a goal lead that high. Look at that. That's 15k.
6-27. All the
6-27. They've got everything. They've got every objective. They've got the Grubs. They've got the Drake. They've got the Rift Herald. Baron wasn't even a consideration because the game didn't even go on that long.
What can you do?
What can you do? Just unfortunate for the Barons. It's kind of Barbarians. I don't think we can analyze anything from that game.
No.
Can we, Freddie? It was just a mid-diff and that guy ran over the Rift. Just, okay. With that, Game 2 goes over to the Cyphers. Game 1 was captured. Absolute back and forth for the Celts. It was the Celts at the end of the day. Doing well. I believe that has been us for League of Legends. Next week, Prod, let me know. We have some more stuff, obviously. Catch us on tomorrow. It's Apex. I'm going to be doing audio for that. Look forward tomorrow, Apex. That's almost every Thursday. Look forward to that. And look at this. There you go. Oh my, I don't. Do you want me to read it out? I'll just hold it up and gaze in glory. Tuesday, EAFC Cups. That's a good one. That's nice. We got Wednesday, Rocket League Nationals. And also Wednesday on British Esports 2, I believe. That is the Overwatch Opens. And then Thursday, there you go. I'll crouch out of the way for you. It is Apex Legends Cups. Incredible. That is our weekly rundown. Apex Legends tomorrow. Tune in. I better see you there in chat. Same time, same place. Beautiful virtual set as always. And thank you everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure. League of Legends, my favorite game. Incredible game too. Let's wave goodbye. Say goodbye. Have a beautiful night, people. Watch in tomorrow. We've got some lovely hosts, lovely analysts. Lex and Luca on the cast. Can't wait. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. And the prod cam. I wonder if I'm on. Goodbye.